So, were you smoking cigarettes before you started vaping?
Yeah, I've been smoking cigarettes since I was 7 years old. I was kind of in the music industry, so it was kind of just like what came with like the territory. It ended up being like junkie style, where I'd like go find cigarettes around town and smoke them. Then when I got into like high school and stuff, it became like I was buying packs. Got it to like 2 packs a day before I started like coughing crap up.
So, like in the long run, how have smoking cigarettes kind of affected your life?
My asthma got worse. I was coughing up crap. No ladies wanted to talk to me because I smelled like cigarettes 24/7.
Now, I know you've been vaping for a super long time, so from somebody who's been vaping, have you noticed any, negative side effects to yourself, not like you've seen to other people, but to yourself when you've stopped smoking cigarettes and you've gone to vaping?
So have I seen any negative side effects to vaping? Absolutely not. If anything, I've only seen improvements and anything helping me personally. There's no negative effects towards it. A lot of people think that when you first start vaping, it's going to be worse for you because for the first 11 weeks, what you do is that your body is actually working with the vape and it's going at your lungs, attacking the tar and the crap that's in your lungs and using it as like a lubricant and getting it out of your chest. So for the first 11 weeks, you're going to be actually coughing more than you normally do when you'd be smoking cigarettes because it's actually trying to get all that crap out of your chest and like onto the concrete kind of thing. So like that's what happened to me, and that's when I did my research and found that out, and especially where I work at. And ever since then, feel great. I can breathe. I can hold my breath longer when I actually go swimming. Like, I personally haven't seen any negative side effects for it.
Jackson Samsgard here with Coach Mike. Mike, what's your opinion on cigarettes versus vaping?
I feel that cigarettes, you know a little bit more about what they can do to you, but vaping's so new that you really don't know.
So, do you think vaping is worse, better, or the same for you as cigarettes?
It's all the same.
Why do you think that? Because there's a lot of carcinogens and stuff like that inside of cigarettes, but there's only 4 substances inside of vaping. So how could you think it's the same as cigarette smoking?
It's the same because they want you to buy it, and they're going to put stuff in it to make you addicted to it. And no matter what you say, you're going to want to do it over and over again.
Okay, so with you working at Vapor Connection, I'm sure a lot of people have come in trying to quit cigarettes. Has there been any really good stories, or just have you made anybody really happy by changing them to vaping and having them stop smoking cigarettes?
Well, there was this one guy. He's about 60 years old. He's been smoking for 30 years, pack a day. He's been vaping now for about 2 years. Now, after that 2-year mark, he gets his lungs x-rayed every 6 months. Now, over your entire lifespan, your lungs only heal themselves, you could say, only 25% over your entire lifetime. Now, this guy's, like I said, has been smoking for 30 years, pack a day. He gets his lungs x-rayed. They said that after 2 years of vaping, his lungs was at 75% capacity, which is insane. And they estimate in another year to 2 of vaping, his lungs will be at 100% capacity to where it'll look like he's never smoked a cigarette a day in his life. So there's a real good positive note there. And, there are a lot of studies going on right now to see if vaping is still healthy, you can say, but it's definitely better than smoking cigarettes. There's no tar, there's no added chemicals.
So, how is smoking cigarettes affecting the people around you?
I always tried to keep it away from my parents because I never thought my parents would approve of it. But it was kind of hard in the long run. They kind of started disapproving of me. They kind of started just getting really they disapproved of the lifestyle I was living. And when they found out that I was going to start working at a vape shop and start vaping and stuff, they were really actually happy for me that I was going to get out of that and get into this, because honestly everybody around here is basically just like a community. Everybody loves each other. Everybody is there for each other. If you have a problem, you can talk to someone else. You can go on the street and see someone vaping and talk to them and have a conversation with them about it.
Did you ever try to quit smoking?
Yeah, I tried the patch, tried the gum, nothing worked.
So with you and smoking cigarettes, do you think there's something you could pinpoint, something that you like about cigarettes a lot more than vaping? Is there a certain factor that it just makes you like it so much more?
Well, I mean, I like everything more than vaping. I like throwing up more than vaping. But that's beside the point. What I like more about a cigarette than a vape is just that nice, right there, just that
throat,
that warm, just you're ooh, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Cameron.
You like the future of smoking?
To be honest, I feel like vaping is already taking over smoking. I see more people vaping around here than I do smoking nowadays. probably seeing 10 people vaping in cars a day to 5 people smoking cigarettes a day. When usually when I first started driving and stuff, I was driving around and I'd see everybody smoking cigarettes in their car.
What do you think some of the advantages are for vaping instead of like smoking cigarettes?
Some of the advantages are probably just that you can get back taste, you can get back feel. I mean, you won't have that nasty smell anymore. Half the juices, more than half the juices that they make actually will make you probably smell better than you do normally.
So, get things started. So, you used to smoke cigarettes, right?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. How has that affected you?
Well, I'm young, so it probably didn't affect me as much as everybody else that smokes cigarettes. But I play sports. I play baseball. I play basketball on my off time, and I could feel it in my lungs. Like, that's no joke. It's no joke to anybody else. Like, smoking, I can name off facts on facts about how smoking affects my lungs, affects my brain, affects my body, affects my mood. Anything like that. And I didn't like it, so that's why I went to vaping.
All right. And you said that you had some family problems with smoking, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's run deep through my family. I've had many generations throughout my family of cancer problems, lung cancer from smoking cigarettes. I don't want to continue on that trend.
Right.
Like my dad still smokes cigarettes. My grandpa smokes cigarettes. Both sides. Both of them died from lung cancer, and I don't want to go through that anymore. Like, I don't want to put my grandsons, my future grandsons, my future children through what I've had to go through. And my dad's still kicking today. If he could drop dead tomorrow, I don't know. So I just don't even want to think about that. I don't want to continue that trend.
And have you tried quitting?
Yes, I have. I tried quitting without vaping, and it didn't work. It did not work. I could not do it. I was fiending. The addiction was ridiculous. And I had a vape before I started smoking cigarettes, and then it broke. Then I didn't smoke for a little bit at all, and then I started smoking cigarettes. And then my idea came to me like, hey, why don't I fix my vape and see if it works? And let me tell you something, it works.
Yeah.
It worked really well. Yeah, I didn't think about it once. Once I started vaping, there's flavors, there's different mods, there's different tips, there's so many different things. This could be a lifesaver for me.
Right. All right. And by using those, do you have like any desire just to smoke a normal cigarette?
No, not at all. I mean, there's times, if I see somebody in front of me who's smoking a cigarette, then of course, but that's just from smoking cigarettes. Before I started smoking cigarettes, I was vaping, and people smoke cigarettes around me all the time. I mean, that's how I started. It was my friends influenced me into doing it when I wasn't, being smart. And before, they would smoke in front of me, and I wouldn't even think twice about it. They would offer me, and I'd be like, no, I'm good with my vape. So, there's no thought for me to smoke cigarettes again. This is all I need.
And
That's all I want.
Good. And how much money do you think you've saved just by switching with vapes?
Well, see, the thing is before this year, I didn't have a job, so like I would have to get money from my parents, and I got a job at Costco, and I get paid $11.50 an hour, and boy, is that great. And I had all this money, and I couldn't help it but spend it on cigarettes, so I didn't even think about it. But there was a point where I was smoking probably a pack and a half a day, which is around $7-8, and that's ridiculous. Because you're at the end of the week, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, where did that $60 go that was in my wallet? Oh, I spent it on a carton of cigarettes and smoked it all in a week. That was definitely my lowest point right there.
And like, at what point did you realize like you needed to quit?
It was actually right before spring break. My mom left early to go up to San Diego. We had a baseball tournament up there. My parents used to live up there, so she left early. It was just me and my dad, and I was able to smoke cigarettes freely because, like I said, my dad smoked, so it was totally cool and everything like that. But I was sitting there with my dad, and I just thought to myself, is this really what I want to do? Do I want to think to myself that in possibly 30 years I could be doing this with my kid? And I decided not to buy another pack after my last pack. And the cool thing was I actually had 5 cigarettes left. So I was thinking like, I'm probably gonna end up buying another pack anyway. You know, I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna be like, crap, I want another pack, and you know, then screw myself over. But I stopped. I ended, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna get a vape. And I got my vape before San Diego. Got my first bottle of juice. Went back. You know, well, my restart first bottle of juice, and went out there and didn't even think about it. Literally, the first day, the first 24 hours, didn't think about it because I was vaping.
All right. And what do you think some of the advantages are to vaping instead of using cigarettes?
Well, like I was saying at the beginning, you know, my lungs don't hurt. I'm not coughing. I'm not hawking loogies constantly. You know, when I laugh, it's not all, you know.
Right.
I could go on and on about the advantages, but disadvantages, I don't see any. So, like, you don't even need to ask that question. There is no disadvantages to vaping. Like, I don't see what's wrong with it. It's a good smell. There's no secondhand vape. You know, if there is, it's got to be minimal, because I smell vape and my nose perks. You know, it perks up. It doesn't go, oh crap, like, oh that's horrible. It's like, oh wow, that smells good. You know.
Right.
So.
But in time, do you think that there's ever going to be, like, the FDA starting to crack down on electronic cigarettes? Do you think that they're ever going to start finding something that's in the certain bottles of juices that can lead to any type of cancer?
You know, from the research that I've done on vaping, because, you know, I know it's new. I know it's new to society. The research that I've done, there's only 4 things that are in vape, and I can't name them off the top of my head, but they're not like rat poison,
right,
or meth, things used to make meth.
Right.
You know, that's in cigarettes. That's
Right.
not in vape. Okay, so it's completely different. It's completely different.
All right. And when you were smoking cigarettes, how is it affecting the people around you?
Oh, it was not good, because I ended up telling my mom. I ended up just telling my mom because I didn't want to hide it from her, because I thought to myself that this could be a lifelong habit, and I'm not trying to hide it from her for the next 20 years. And when I told her, I hadn't seen her cry that hard ever. I don't think. I mean, it was hard. It was tough, and it wasn't just that. You know, like, yeah, I had friends that were like, hey, you want to smoke and stuff like that, but I also had a lot of friends that were like, why do you smell like cigarettes? Why are you smoking another cigarette? There you go, taking another day out of your life. And the more I thought about that, the more it bothered me. The more I decided, you know what, I gotta make a change.
All right. And I think that's gonna be it, man.